stopped hearing it again.
All right, welcome everyone to Citizens United. I'm John. Here, Jerry's here, Robin's here. Okay. Yeah.
About how I posted something the other day, and I swear it's true. Maybe it's true with me, but once you get older, little sounds start to irritate you, like random sounds start to irritate you. Well, in the summer, there's this cricket, and it was just like screaming. Like, I mean, it was, I could always hear this cricket in the summer, the same cricket in my mom's backyard every single night. Finally, I blocked it out. I didn't have to hear it anymore. I don't know. Then my mom started hearing it. She goes, "Oh my God, there's that cricket." I was like, "Dang." Not hearing it. It was so annoying.
Because it was blocked out to me. I just didn't pay attention to it and was driving her crazy. And then she said it. And then one night I was sitting there, I was like, "Oh my God, it does sound like a blowing whistle."
Yeah.
And it put right back to hearing it. And
Chris is here. Dominic, hi Dominic,
Hey guys.
and everybody else that's out there. I'm going to remind you about the stars again when you're out there. If you have the ability or want to, 99 cents can give us 5 stars, and that 99 cents or whatever would go towards us and our technology and stuff.
Helping other people.
All that stuff. The stars are easy. It's 99 cents for 5 of them. I think it goes up a little.
99 cents for 5?
5 stars, yeah. And then I think it goes like, I don't know. Is it more than 5? Okay. And then there's more like, and then it keeps going up. Like you can give $1, you can give like $2, $4.
Yeah.
So if you have a chance, give us some stars.
Yeah.
Yes, because it also gives us like
Very helpful.
It also gives us like the ability to be it has more of a standing too. The more stars you get,
especially with something that we want to eventually get into doing to help catch predators. And
I know we could definitely,
we could definitely do that. We want to eventually get into something to help catch these predators ourselves.
Yeah,
and get them off the streets.
We got a nice video later.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool. Unbelievable. Kim is here, Dominic, and everybody else that's out there. Horrible story.
Yeah.
In right down the street from where we live, actually. Was that the Cave of the Winds?
Yeah, right by the Cave of the Winds. I know somebody who works at the Cave of the Winds, and she heard it. She heard the child screaming. And
we don't know much about where she's from or nothing.
Yeah, around there somewhere. I don't know. She heard it.
And she jumped with her daughter?
She jumped with her. I don't know. Somebody said a son. I don't know. Right. But 5-year-old. 5-year-old. The lady was having some mental issues, and she took her 5-year-old with her and jumped into the what do you call it? Terrapin?
Okay, Terrapin Point.
Terrapin Point. God. And supposedly the child lived, and the mother didn't make it.
Well, the story behind that's going to be really sad.
I think it was just on the Buffalo news page.
I see it on Channel 2, right? No, this is something different. No, this is a shooting that happened in Buffalo.
I just seen it right here on the Buffalo.
But that is the backstory is going to be very sad. I mean, I can only imagine where they're from, who's a father, who's
here it is. The 5-year-old was rescued on Monday after he and his mother jumped into the Niagara Gorge in Niagara Falls State Park. A parks woman spoke. 5-year-old, yeah. So,
but that's where people who don't understand how the mind works.
Yeah.
And when you are in that dark of a place, and people go, "Oh, how could she have done that to her child?" Well,
now this is saying
it was for her.
This people are calling it out now. This article on the Buffalo News, can't always trust them, but it's saying that the boy jumped with her. Now it's saying the boy jumped with her. Before the article said that she took the boy with her. Now it's saying, so I don't.
It's going to be
after he and his mother jumped into so they changed it up.
Well, she might have hit him by the hand. He was 5, and
you know what I mean? Jump after her. Who even knows?
Right. I mean, so unfortunately, the female did not make it.
And if she's in a place where it was that dark, maybe she thought that the child was better off not being here too.
Yeah. She didn't want to leave her child.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And try, which isn't right. I mean,
no, but I can understand the frame of mind.
Oh, the husband was there too. He said the woman and child had been with her husband at the park before they fell into the gorge. Now it's saying they fell into the gorge in the same article. So what is it? Did they jump?
Nobody's gonna know. And maybe if the kid could at some point talk to somebody, but
Right.
until then, nobody really knows.
And it was on the American side, Dominic.
And there should be no judgment.
Now it's saying the woman jumped into the Niagara Falls with her son between her. Okay.
A sad story. Like I said, the backstory is going to, as if
That
we
gives me
find out
anxiety.
more. Yeah.
Those types of stories, because having kids and stuff.
Yeah.
That gives me anxiety. I mean, I've been at some low points, but
A lot of stuff going on at that,
yeah.
at the, well, it is what it is over there. And we went, remember, with Colleen and all that horrible stuff that one summer. It is really sad. I can't, like I said, that story is going to be heartbreaking eventually when we hear more, because I can't even imagine. No,
I'm too afraid.
Yeah, I don't blame you, because there's a lot of spots that are very wide open.
I'm too afraid now. Like, like before I would, but now I'm too afraid. It's just, you never know anymore.
Yeah, no,
it's not worth the risk. There's nothing there that's that great.
Remember way back in the day where there was the people, somebody who was killing like the honeymoon people, or you know what I mean? Remember that?
Yeah,
They would go there for their honeymoon, or
and they kill. Yeah,
they were killing.
That's what that's something I don't trust. That's what I think in my head. Somebody's just gonna come out of nowhere.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was a crazy thing that happened.
Let's see. That is sad. This is very much a blessing that my step grandfather used to run the Cave of the Winds back in the 90s, and is a constant point being, especially on the American side with the rocks at the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough. I mean, I don't know. I just it's going to be terrible when you find out if we ever find out, you know what I mean? The backstory. I can't even imagine. Maybe we won't ever, because the little kid's involved.
Yeah.
I wonder the only thing I wonder is where they're from. Sometimes
I know,
I'm curious.
wondering if they're like out of, if they're tourists.
Tourists, right?
Tourists,
Right. So why don't we get into what we were going to talk? We got a couple topics. The first one, though, is something that we had covered before with the town, city of Lockport. It was about the ambulance and all those ambulance. The stuff about it was the ambulance going to go back to Lockport, the Lockport Fire, or was it going to be still an outside agency or whatever doing it? Well, the three women, councilwomen, Gina Pascari, Kristen Barnard, and Kitty Fogel, they had not wanted that. Well, they wanted more information, I guess, a study to be done, which cost like 20 grand or something like that. And then I guess ultimately voted no for it. I think then what ended up happening is it passed anyways, I believe, with the mayor's tie-breaking vote, because I don't think Kitty voted.
Who's the mayor again?
Roman.
Okay.
And so you had that happening. So Gina Pascari, I got to start the story the right way. On December 15th, there was a meeting, I guess, in City Hall, but it was not a meeting in front of people. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a regular common council meeting. And make sure I have it right. At that meeting on December 19th, they made some decisions in there. And according to their city charter, allegedly, that can't be done. It's not supposed to be done. But of course, we know how people deal with that city charter. They only use it when necessary for themselves. They don't follow the rules in any of those charters. Anyone. They don't do it here in Niagara Falls.
Definitely don't do it here.
It doesn't matter if you live in Niagara Falls, but if it was someone else, it would matter. It's the same bullshit they have in Lockport. Well, anyways, that meeting was the cause of, it appears, definitely is, the two of them that resigned. I got to make sure I remember their names right. Barnard and Pascari resigned. Barnard does not really give a reason. She says no comment to a lot of stuff. Pascari, though, says a lot. And one of the things she says, I've got the quote from the paper. Let me find it. She sent a letter and to the Roman administration, and she said that the administration has created bullying and a hostile work environment in which Pascari can't do the job she's elected to do. I have no confidence, this is her quote, I have no confidence in you nor your administration's ability to govern. I cannot and will not make decisions when little to no information is provided, even after asking for the information.
That was by who?
That was Gina Pascari. So she resigned. But when you come to hear more about the situation, whatever was going on in that meeting, those council people believed it was harassing, intimidating, verbal abuse type of stuff. It seemed to all point at one person, and that is Paul Beekman, who is Lockport's a councilman, but he's the president of the council.
I don't like Here,
Like
we
Tom,
like
yes,
Kentuckians.
same thing.
Okay.
And you know, I got some really good sources that have talked to me that were close to all this stuff. And they had claimed that Beekman, this is their claim, has had issues in the past with, and that Mayor Roman knew this with being maybe, well, I don't know, misogynistic was the word they used. So anyways, that all goes on, and these women have, the two council people resign. And Kitty, though, Fogel does not. She's still there. But Kitty is now under, this was a big deal because the fireman, it was a whole thing with the fireman wanting to take the ambulance back. And how do I say this? This way. They appointed two new council people for the ones that left. One of them is Lisa Gellerson, who's a teacher, I think, in Lockport. And the other one is Maggie Lupo. Now, the big thing about Maggie Lupo is her husband is a Medina firefighter who also sits on the committee that was there to try to get seemed like an ad hoc committee, whatever it was, to bring that back to Lockport.
Right.
So he was on that side of the thing. Really good sources.
Because we make sure when we do get our information, it's always from great sources.
Yeah, and I visually seen myself, but I can't really say anything. I'll say this. Really good source, and what it is shows some real intimidation attempts by Mr. Lupo. But then, of course, Maggie Lupo ends up being appointed by the mayor to be in the city, to be in the city council. It is, I thought Niagara Falls was bad. Lockport's bad.
Yeah.
Lockport's really, really, really bad. And the funny thing is Niagara Falls is bad, but there's actually more attention paid to Niagara Falls.
Right.
Lockport, North Tonawanda, it's quiet.
Yeah.
No one ever knew this was going on out there. Let me see.
Really not much.
Yeah. No, I mean, think about it.
They really don't have like that many pages. Like we here have all these pages for Niagara Falls. Like there's not really that many pages telling you what's going on. And
then they won't say it either.
No.
Because I feel like as bad as it is here, believe it or not, they got less people there.
Yeah.
So they even more are kind of intertwined and no one wants to speak and pretend like they can't see. Now, Kitty is under doctor's orders. She went to the doctors because the stress of all this has been bothering her. I did talk to her. I did speak to her personally.
So many issues.
And she did give the administration a notice saying that she won't be going to meetings much anymore because of the stress type of thing, Also, in her letter, she's asserting what went on, pretty much. You guys intimidated me. You tried to physically intimidate me. You did that and all that.
Yeah.
And in speaking to her, she was very upset. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't blame her for not wanting to go.
There's no doubt in my mind that it happened.
Right.
In my mind,
right.
In my opinion, talking to Kitty, I believe that this. I don't understand. I don't believe this to be a made-up story.
Yeah. Why would she have any reason
no,
to make it?
Right. There's no reason, and because it's like now Gina Pascari and Kristen Barnard now are done. They left. They left because of this. They're done. They're not doing it no more. Barnard has not said much, but Pascari's been saying a lot, and I think lawyers are going to get involved too. I'm sure there's going to be a lawsuit of something against the city because there is an allegation of misogyny, of intimidation, of political retribution because the fact that they voted against the fire department.
Yeah.
And that's what this seemed like to them. That's what it seems like to Kitty and the other two, and it sounds like it.
And it leaves Kitty in a bad spot when the other two have resigned and all of this is going on. I really feel for her.
Yeah, she's gonna.
She's trying to stick to what she was elected to do. And
now the one thing Kitty did do that I didn't get a chance to ask her for was about the her vote and why she abstained from voting. I'm curious as to why she did that when it was time to vote for the fire department, like either yes or no. The other two voted no, and she abstained. She just didn't do it. But it made a tie, which forced the mayor to vote. Like she is the tiebreaker, and she votes because she wanted it to be that way. Now, it's a Democrat-Republican thing, too, because those three are Republicans. Those are Democrats. It's a mess, But, I guess the whole thing for me is like, all right, and also, I was told by one of the, another great source, that a name that kept coming up was Caparella. being the fact that he is a Lockport special
Yeah.
counsel to the Corporation Council over there, and also what he does here in Niagara Falls. It was felt it's a conflict of interest. They don't understand why he's there. I think we understand.
Because he's the only one qualified to do all these things.
We were told that. Yes.
You know,
Yes.
there's
Wait
nobody
till I tell you who told me that.
there's nobody like Jason Cascarella in all of Niagara.
Here, hold on. I'm gonna tell her. No, there's. This is who told me that.
Oh, I was thinking something.
Which was amazing, right?
That was my birthday.
That's who told me that. And you know, I disagree completely that that's the only guy who can do this job for all these agencies.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's because of who you're connected to, and it just makes sense.
I hear Jason Cameron's name for a lot of things, and none of it's good.
Involved in a lot of nonsense.
A lot of bullshit.
I went to school with this kid. He wasn't all that impressive to me.
Well, that's what happens. Several lifelong Republicans also wanted to be appointed to the council, and they were passed over for Lupo, who was a lifelong Democrat, who quickly changed to be a Republican, and they put her in there. Just playing the game, just saying, oh look, I put a Republican. It's really a Dem, and they're going to vote with the mayor. Mayor Roman has been asked to come on this show twice. She won't even respond. Mayor Roman, we wanted to ask her about if she was at the Janelle Faso. I've been still waiting for 2 years to ask her that question.
I don't understand why she can't just do a simple reply.
Yeah, I can't get the answer to that.
Why you can't just do a simple reply?
I can't imagine it wasn't her, because if it wasn't her, why wouldn't she have spoken up and said,
right, it wasn't me.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, that wasn't me.
So, like, this story here is, I guess the reason why it interests me so much, it's not just Niagara Falls.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
And the worse it gets, the smaller it gets, the worse it gets.
Mm-hmm.
Like Pendleton, I've heard stories out there, Mess, I'm sure Wilson, North Tonawanda, Lockport, and it's just not here, I guess, is all I'm saying.
Right. No.
It's everywhere. But the smaller the place, the worse it is.
Yeah.
Because then that's even a better place you can go and commit a lot of stuff. Like Grand Island, it's easy in there to commit what they're doing over there, because everyone's attached, and we know from what we've been through, all of us around the table, that people won't speak, and they'll keep their head down.
Yeah.
And what happens if they do speak? They get
Especially in a smaller community.
Yeah.
That you get, targeted big time.
And that's the thing when you stand. That's why Kitty, I give her credit. She's sticking in there. Good for her. And I don't mind the other people leaving. I get it too.
Yeah.
Why are you going to deal with that?
Right.
You're not there. You're not making money. You're there. And it was only their first term.
Right.
Like, it isn't like these were new time elected.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if we want good people to represent us, then we can't allow stuff like that to happen.
Right.
How can you let somebody who was elected by the people be intimidated to the point where they have to leave?
Right.
Paul Beekman, councilman, chairman, president of the council, though, that's a part that's really something that there has been complaints, according to the source I had, and that the mayor, this person tells me that the mayor herself called him a misogynist, but yet he's still the president of this board, and then what happens on December 19th inside behind the closed doors, which would have never happened out in the public.
Right.
There's no way that all would have went on. The Maggie Lupo appointment is interesting because of the husband Tom Lupo's connection to the whole thing. And then there are some text messages that are pretty pretty bad, like pretty tough. I mean, some definitely intimidation style. And I don't think it should, I don't know. I hope no one cares.
No, nobody.
No one cares. No
Right.
one cares, and they should care, and the people of Lockport should care. And whoever the county legislators out there should care.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone should care. Who's the Paul, whatever the hell his name is, Oates, I think, is the Lockport Republican chairman. He should care.
Right.
I asked Gina Pascari herself today, and Kitty, are you getting any help from the Republican Party? And she said, absolutely not. They're doing nothing to help them. They're letting them hang out to dry.
Okay.
But that's because they're all together.
Yeah.
Those Democrats, Republicans, it's not, we say that all the time locally what it is. Because really and ultimately, Henry runs it all. And he runs Lockport just like he runs an NT, especially because that's where he's from.
Right. I think the Angelo's big in NT.
I'm sure he
He's
is.
big and
Yeah.
empty. I mean,
And you gotta wonder how much. We only deal with people in the Falls a lot.
Right.
Can you imagine what he's done out there
oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
in the smaller communities?
I mean,
My
he's let
God.
go all the way up to, I think,
He's probably
Monroe County.
yeah, Monroe,
Monroe County. Isn't that Rochester, right?
Mhm.
Can you imagine? Somebody on TikTok actually said something about they were like from Rochester and they know about the situation. They know somebody who knows him, and so like he's all the way up in that area too. So,
Every one of his
Flock
clients.
gave him the ability to go out there.
Yeah, every one of his clients should be
Like you
interviewed.
said, yes.
yeah, they should
You
all
said-
be interviewed.
You said that
Yeah.
the other day, I think, when we were on the
Mhm.
phone, and it's true.
They all should be interviewed.
But now you've got in the Lockport situation, Mayor Roman will be coming up for re-election. People should think about this, but I just hope they do. I don't know what the
People need to start paying
Republicans are doing
attention.
because this should be a great thing for them to run about. You know,
Yeah.
talk about these
Yeah.
3 women who were Republican elected, 2 quit, and 1 is having to go to a doctor because of the threats. And it seems to be, or what do
That's
we?
horrible.
How do you continue to do this? Why would you vote for her again or any of them?
Because people
Vote
don't
for a
believe
different
it.
Democrat if you want, but get that one out.
They don't believe it.
And they
Yeah.
won't. Well, yeah, on our Facebook page, I put out the story, and geez, you should have seen some of the people
Better go
coming
check it out
coming
right
to the
now.
defense of the administration. Wow. Well, and then of course, I was glad to see the 3 women came on and stuck up for themselves.
Yeah.
So they were going back and forth. Lockport has been a cesspool since Michael Tucker's day. Well, that is the case. Yeah, he was pretty bad. That guy, my God, what a
Yeah.
mess. He was a mayor of Lockport, but you want to talk about inappropriate situations and nonsense. He was something else, that guy. But so I don't know. I guess the biggest thing is I feel terrible for Kitty because I do know Kitty. Robin's related to Kitty, to let everyone know, but I know Kitty, and she's not a liar. I know she's not gonna lie. There's no reason to lie.
No.
Gina Pascari, I don't know her, but I've talked to her a few
I
times.
do know Kitty, and I can tell
You
she's
can
not
tell.
lying.
Yeah. There's no reason.
I hate my family, so if I like her, she must be all right.
True, yeah. And Kristen Barnard, I haven't talked to. She did come out though and speak on the post on Facebook,
Yeah.
but I've never spoken to her yet. And by reading what she said in the paper, I kind of think she doesn't want to speak at this point. Like she's kind of just doing the no comment thing. So there you go. Second alderman quits, leaving council without the quorum, and yeah. So that's the story. It's a bigger story, and it's sad because the Lockport Sun and Journal did this. You know, they had this stuff in there, all the quotes, all the
Yeah.
things, and it didn't pick up any steam.
No.
Like, why wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, we do political podcasts, we do all this stuff, and why wouldn't that be something to
Wake
stir around?
Wake
Yeah.
some people up.
I can only imagine what the AM radio must be doing. Nothing. Because
Right.
they have their little shows still.
Probably
Is there
Yeah.
anyone that besides us that talks about Lockport though?
No, probably not. No, we're the only ones. Like we discussed the whole county. You know, I think because
Anywhere corruption is.
Right.
yeah, but in this county, I really think look at North Tonawanda. North Tonawanda was the hub of it. I mean, it's crazy. That's where Henry comes from, George, from everyone. That's where they became what
That
they
makes
become.
more sense now with Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Mhm.
They became what they are from that town, from being city clerks and all that, and all the craziness.
Well,
And
Nick's big friends with the Watazic, so
oh, big time
it-
friends with him.
there's no doubt that
He ran his campaign.
right. So there's no doubt that if they're running the
heard.
county, he's in good favor, and
Right.
he's running the county with them.
Yeah, well, that's why he ran. That's why he got in with Carolyn at that time. So he knew what he was
and
doing.
he is the boss. I don't care what anyone says. You see him on the Batavia Downs commercial. What's your boss? There he is. That's the guy. He does all the decisions here.
Yep.
And then, you know what he's doing at OTB, which is disgusting. So, but why not?
Yeah,
Who's
why
gonna
not?
stop
Nobody's
you?
stopping
Yeah.
I mean, and then the people that do say it, are a lot of times, and I think we've dealt with it before. When you say stuff, you're looked at like you're crazy
Yeah.
or conspiracy
Yeah.
theorist or all that stuff. It's why we've noticed with some of the things that go on with the D'Angelo case, they try really hard to get the women to be
Look like
put in
they're-
jail or something like.
Look what he's doing to the minor. He's trying to
Right.
get her mental health records, her medical records, trying to make it out to be like it's her fault. Like,
Right.
Vernon, we
Trying to
can't
make
have a
social
conversation
things.
here and say, "How are you?
Yeah.
How are you?" We're
How
good.
you
We're
doing?
good. You ever want to come on? Let me know. No, I'm just
Yeah,
joking. I'm
actually, we
just
should
joking,
have Vernon
Vernon.
on and talk
Yep.
about
All of
the judicial thing he's going through.
them. Right. Yeah. Anytime, Vernon. Definitely. So yeah, that's the story in Lockport. That's about all I got on it. I mean, I know what it is. We've seen it here with the fire department, the police department. They're like sacred cows. You can't really touch them, whether it's
Yep.
their union or whatever it is. You can remember the great quote from Bill Kennedy when it came to our garbage tax.
Yeah.
And when he said, I don't want to send 70 families home sad or whatever he said. So that's why he voted for the entire, city to have to be sad. Yeah. And have to have the rent raised and everything else. So thanks for that. Yeah.
Actually, speaking of Vernon, if it wasn't for Vernon, I don't think we would have known that Nick D'Angelo had a court date recently.
Right.
Yeah.
He's the one who gave us the information. Then
That's right.
we started looking into it.
Yeah. So we found out Nick D'Angelo had a court date recently that he
Yeah,
did not
yeah.
show up to,
Right.
which is weird.
Shocking.
Yeah, he doesn't have to show up to things or answer to things though, right? Don't know what it's exactly for, but we do have some news and information on the Nick D'Angelo case. There is now a trial date set for May 8th through the 19th. So that's supposed to be the trial.
Did they ever say when jury selection is going to be? Would it be before May? It'd have to be, right?
And they gotta have
Probably in
it all
April.
in order,
I
right?
Yeah.
assume. Like, can you imagine that? That jury.
He's probably working on finding out who the jurors are and
Oh.
pay them off. Like
Oh,
that's
I'm
exactly
sure
what he's
he-
gonna do.
Oh yeah.
They better keep an eye on.
They're going to
They
have to.
better keep an eye on it because he's gonna have the
Oh, yeah.
Henry Watasek,
All of them.
Carolyn Watasek, or whoever. He's gonna have his buddies
Just straight scumbags. More.
go and pay off
Wow.
the jurors. Like,
Just
I know.
not gonna show up with like a cheerleader outfit with
Yeah.
pom-poms and everything.
Probably just probably be there sitting around him.
Gary says, hi, everyone. Not enough people care anymore. We need more people to start caring.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And caring,
How do you do that?
you can't be fooled by caring by giveaways. Those
Right.
aren't caring when the FASO shows up or the other people show up and they give you hot dogs. That doesn't mean they care.
Scott would love to be a juror on this.
Well,
trial.
Oh, yeah.
for Janelle.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it did. But I mean, sometimes the people that care, it's gonna. Yeah, I don't know.
No, it
Sometimes it
actually
hurts a little.
Didn't work for her because she was already promised that position.
I know. I was
It was just a show.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was just a show.
Oh yeah,
The whole
Janelle knew
thing
what
was
she
a
was.
show.
Janelle
Yeah.
knew what she was doing. Mhm.
That's how it works here.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Every one of these guys or women that have been elected as judges, I know for a fact that the ones that want to run are told, don't this time, well, you'll take care of you next time. And it just keeps rotating. And you can see it.
Yeah.
So if that's how you want your things to be, then no one should complain because you're allowing it to be this way.
Right.
It's being
And don't you dare complain if you're not doing it.
you want it to be this way. It doesn't make any sense why people would want okay with that. And they play the game. I think I said this one other time. You know what else they do though too? You would have a guy fight you to the death over if I said something about Henry Watasek, let's say, who got more money than anyone needs in Western New York for sure. But if some guy who would be just a normal guy working, who knows, 9 to 5 type job will fight you, and or would fight you over these political parties as if they give a damn about you.
Right.
And it's nuts. That is the brainwashing that these parties have done through the years. They make you. It's almost like church for people that have been, you've gone to church your whole life. It's kind of like just robotic, and that's the way it seems to me. Because I don't know how the hell you're sticking up. Well, you've seen it. It happened right to your face. I mean,
yeah, it's pathetic. I mean, some of these people go all out.
By the way, I was just seeing the weather's going to be nice, and then it's going to get cold.
Oh no!
It's going to be like 58 on Thursday, but 28 on Friday. It's kind of fun. That'll be bad for pain.
Yeah, I'm feeling it already.
Yes, but yeah, 58.
I do want to make a quick
Go ahead.
quick comment about, and I told everybody I was going to say this. Abbott Elementary School. Not happy with them. Not happy with how Abbott Elementary has somebody like Nick D'Angelo's mother working there. Supposedly, from what I was told by somebody who was employed there, who worked there, she's supposed to be a school counselor, Kathy D'Angelo Tuma. She's Andy Tuma's sister. I guess she sits there all day with some of the other teachers and stalks my Facebook page. And I don't like that. First of all, I don't like the fact that she's even a counselor there when she is okay with what her son has done and has basically helped him be who he is. But but I've had a lot of complaints about her recently in my inbox. Like, I got to show you my inbox after this, but there's a lot of things she's doing there that kids aren't really safe. She's allowing things to happen around kids and stuff that's not safe. And so when I tried to tag Abbott Elementary and let them know, Abbott Elementary immediately untagged themselves and blocked me.
I wonder who runs that.
I want to know who runs it. If anybody knows who runs the Abbott Elementary page,
who could be doing,
let me know, because
She probably took it over.
I know she
Yeah.
probably, actually Nick probably runs it.
When she with the first trial for Nick, for the case with the girl at Niagara Falls High School that he raped, wasn't she sitting in the courtroom laughing while this poor child was crying and trying to recount this horrible account that her son did?
Yeah, right.
Well, I don't know that it said it was her.
No, it was Nick and the parents were
Oh,
laughing in the
right.
courtroom while the girl was sitting there in tears with her parents.
I know it definitely said he.
No, yeah, they were just the parents and Nick. And it's just, that's how somebody like that is allowed to be a school counselor. Are you kidding me?
Scott says Nick's mom works at Abbott. Wow, whatever. Crazy how the sign bandit knew this.
I know. Oh my God. I think that's why they're so upset.
Yeah, the sign bandit.
It's gotta be.
How is that sign bandit?
That's
On
Sign
the
Bandit.
loose.
He's a hero.
I don't think he's done any more.
He's probably got to lay low a little.
He's a hero though.
He's
You know,
with that little bakery group, the one that robbed, whenever, the burglar. So, the Hamburglar. Yeah, honey,
I think Little Baker
can't
even
take
got
it
a
no more.
sign from the bandit too.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
They did right there on Buffalo Avenue. I actually drove by and saw the sign. It was great.
They giving away 80 loaves the other day.
Oh my God, they're like Jesus. They probably turned wine into, water into wine, and I'm sure they multiplied the
People
fish.
are struggling so much.
Oven baked Jesus. Huh?
People are struggling so much. It's amazing how they can just afford to.
Oh, you
give
just saw
away.
the Super Bowl giveaway. Holy cow! I haven't seen prices like that since the '80s
Oh my God.
for 50 wings and a tray of pizza. Wow.
It's amazing
$40.
what people will put up with for bread and hot
I
dogs
know.
around here.
God, is that all it's for?
That's it.
Well, that's
Lower the price of bread and give away free hot
because they
dogs.
know that Niagara Falls is so.
Mhm.
That's a way of
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
really is a sad statement about the city
You
that
could
that's
be a terrible person. You could be
Yeah.
you could be a criminal and a horrible person. God, all you have to do is give
There you go.
some free bread or some
Love for
hot
bread.
dogs,
yeah,
and you're a saint.
right.
It's like,
No, and then
Yeah.
it's like
people
a
will
cartoon.
even know, like, okay,
It's like
you
South
support
Park.
rape, but you give discounted bread, bread.
But it's
We'll go with the bread.
It
It all
really
good
is.
sound, right?
It's kind of like, it reminds me of like a Simpsons
It makes-
episode or the South Park, like a thing that's a parody.
You know what's
This place
hilarious
is
is
ridiculous.
that there are people who claim that they support me, and
Can't do both.
they
It's hard
like
to do
that they
both.
support
Yeah.
me and they have my back, and that they're against Dick D'Angelo, but they buy from the Little Bakery.
Yeah,
They are all over the Little Bit, like they are all okay with Little Baker. That's what gets me. It's like you know
There's a
what
lot
they've
of other
done.
bread places to go to.
Dude, Deacon Mellows is so much
Make
better.
your
And I'm not
Latina,
saying
they have
that.
Ontario bread
I'm
there.
not saying that. Just say, oh,
Make your own.
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Your own,
That really is about time
That's
with the
smart
prices.
criminal.
yeah.
With the prices these days.
Well, we made pizza dog. Go right to Deeks and get those three for
Anything on like
$3.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
surprised.
Oh, that's now, why would they block you?
Right.
Weird. They have it so I can't comment anymore.
Why don't we real fast take a break? When we come back, we got a lot more to talk about. We got some interesting video from Catch a Predator. And we have a new segment of Niagara County Pedophile of the Week. And and we will be back in a moment. Let me bring up our commercial. Back in a second.
Digits
Broken on both. We got done. Nothing.
digits 988 can save a life. If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides connection to free confidential support. There is hope. The Lifeline works. For 24/7 confidential support, just call, text, or chat 988.
Welcome back to Citizens United. Here's something I'd like to remind the people out there that are watching about the stars.
Yes.
Please give us stars. And what that means is I think 99 cents gives us maybe 10 stars. I got to look at that.
It's 45. I just
Whoa, 45
Wow.
stars. 99 cents.
Yeah.
So please, if you can spare $1, it'll help us with a lot of things that I know we want to do, but mostly technology too. It
Come
helps
on,
us
who's
do
going to
that.
be the first one to
And-
give us stars?
And also all the other shows too. Spitball and Sports Podcast, the wrestling show, and Paul's Con Anywhere and Robin's show. It'll help. All of them. And give us some stars. Here's I got another thing I wanted to put up here for the stars. Here's a little thing. There you go. 5 stars. Cheap too.
Yeah, very cheap.
Yeah.
What a bargain.
Bargain. Anyways, we got a new segment called This. It is the Niagara County Pedophile of the Week. It's not really funny. I'm not even making a joke of it. There it is.
Yeah.
Let's bring up the picture of this guy. And he's just really, this is really disgusting what goes on with this guy. This guy's a level 3 registered sex offender. He lives in Lockport. He's been picked up recently, but I'm sure he'll be out soon.
Oh, yeah.
His victim was 3 years old.
3 years old.
Wow. And I was looking all over to see about like court time. Prison time. I didn't see that. Someone asked in one of those, I think the mug shots, and they didn't tell me.
Somebody said he was already getting picked up or something like that. Like.
Yeah. He got brought in for a probation violation, but I'm wondering what did he get for he got found guilty for raping the 3-year-old. I'm curious how much time he spent in prison. It seems like he might have spent none. That's a good question. His name is Paul Wayne. That's always bad. Yeah, it's a tough time when it's Paul Wayne. Anything Wayne, John Wayne, Evan Gacy. It's never good. Too many names. All right, Paul Wayne Pierce. That's even worse. Oh my God, Robin. Think about that.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, this guy had no. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to admit that was my maiden name.
State first year. Oh, here we go.
And we got
stars. 8 years.
You got 8 years. That was that.
We got stars. 3, 4,
Yeah.
Wait, what's this saying? What's this saying?
How do you
It's the
spell
same guy.
it? P-I-E-R-C or P-A-R?
Yeah.
Wait,
He's a junior too.
This is different.
It might be someone else. Yeah, I think it. Yeah, I couldn't find how much time this guy, if he served any. It would not surprise me if he served none and he's just on probation.
Isn't it crazy how they do that?
Would it shock you though if that's what you found out? No, not me. Because
And this was Lockport?
yes. Yep, it's Lockport.
Oh yeah, you got a craft.
Come on, my Beatles.
Yes, I told you that one was correct.
What?
Last week.
Yeah,
Mayday.
everybody heard me. I didn't want to throw it out on you.
Taking that guy's picture down. But it's Paul Wayne Pierce. He's up in Lockport. He might be in jail right now in the Lockport jail, but or in the county
I just
jail.
put under the sheriff's department. I put in Paul Wayne Pierce,
Mhm.
P-I-E-R-C-E.
Mhm.
And says here that there's, an offender to display.
Yeah. Level 3.
I didn't even know those levels, what they meant
Yeah.
when they first. I thought level 1 would be the worst. It's not. It's level
Level 3.
3 is the worst.
Level 3. They call him in the one thing I saw. He's right. Like there was like notes. Like it was something for New York State about him. It did say that he's a violent offender.
That's what it said.
So I mean,
Yeah.
he is going to reoffend.
So crime sentence,
Level
served
3
28 months to 7 years.
That's it.
State prison, offense
Wow.
description, actual sexual contact charge, sexual abuse, first degree sexual contact with individual less than 11 years old, jurisdiction, Niagara County Sheriff's Office. Crestwood.
Wow. That's all. And who knows what he served?
Lockport, New York.
And this is why
These crimes just don't matter.
not enough. For sure they don't. They only matter to those that it happens to, and that's sick.
Yeah.
I said it before. How can't I sit here and listen to the little girl who lives in Alaska?
Right.
When you hear that, you're going to be upset about it, and you're going to want you could do something. You want to do something about it. And I say that I'll tell you this: the New York State government, the assemblymen, and the state senators, all of them should be ashamed because they could change all of this.
Yeah.
They're the lawmakers. They can make the law. They can set statutes of limitations. They can change them. They can do a lot.
Yeah.
And they don't.
No, they don't do shit.
They don't do anything about it. And they're the ones that can. Dominic says, a 3-year-old, are you kidding me? If he got no time, whoever saw that case needs to resign. Fry his worthless ass. Put him in general population one day.
If you go on to the Niagara County mugshot page and you look at his picture, you'll see the comments underneath, and people are putting all the information about crime and everything right in the comment section. And holy, what I saw was disgusting. Like,
Yeah, it's real disgusting. But that's pretty messed up that you would only get a maximum of 7 years and minimum of 28 months. So you get somewhere in the middle, I'm sure.
Right.
Probably 3 years, 4 years, and out. I mean, that's not enough. That's just not enough.
no,
because-
that's the problem. They're not making these people pay any prices. They're not giving them like hard enough sentences, and nobody's afraid to commit these crimes.
And they say that they will reoffend.
They will always.
Oh
reoffend.
my
But they don't treat it that way.
Right.
I'm saying the courts will actually say it.
Mhm.
They'll say it, but
they
then they'll
don't.
release them.
Yeah, and they're out and about. Let's see. They should all be legally shot. They can't be helped. They just do it again when they get out of jail.
I agree, Gary.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
in the show How to Catch a Predator, you didn't see how many of them were on the sex offender registry that were just
yeah.
falling for it and going back and trying to meet up with young kids, and they were already.
When you look at the case against the Niagara Falls teachers, you see the same names
5,
over
6.
and over.
Yeah, it isn't.
and-
That's the funny. You're right. There could be 40 cases. It's like 5 idiots
Right.
that caused all this chaos.
Yeah.
5
Mhm.
scumbags out of all
Right.
the good teachers. These 5 assholes are going to cause did what they're going to do.
Yeah.
They should be. You want to talk about what do you say, ostracized or something?
Yeah.
These guys run around on Facebook. They run around out there. They act like
I
they're
can't believe
nothing.
somebody that have Facebook. I have like,
Yeah, how are they
how
allowed?
much we-
See all over everyone.
Well, that's that guy.
well, just like the one
Whoa.
online, like
Yeah,
I can't
WOS.
believe like he's actually on. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you should know you have that against you. Like you're that ballsy enough to
And
be
it's
on.
because they allow it to
Well,
just
they, yeah, you're right.
civil
They're,
court.
they're not afraid of consequences.
Yep.
They're just not.
And they're in
No.
civil court. They've gotten away with it for 50 years, 40
Yeah.
years, and all they're doing is they don't even have to show up at civil court. They'll do it by phone.
And
Yeah.
some people still not knowing anything will say, why is he taking it to civil court? Now some people
Yeah,
are so
no,
dumb
that-
to where
that
they
dumb.
would still say that,
Yes,
not knowing that that's all
that's
that can
how
be
it
done.
works. Yeah.
Right.
That's
OJ did that, right? Because OJ, didn't they
They-
get him in civil?
Yeah,
They brought
I
him
don't
there
care
after the
what-
criminal.
what
Yeah.
somebody
Because
said. I
that
don't
was
care if he's a criminal or
that was the
civil,
only option left.
you know? At least
Yeah.
you're doing something.
No, you
laws
can't.
have got to change. We need to.
People have to go to
Hate to
the
say it,
results.
we need some swamp justice.
Yeah, the law.
Because that's what's going to happen with all these things, and even on the national scale. People, there will be vigilante justice coming. It's coming.
And
It's coming. And then those,
blame it. I mean,
the laws are on the side of the criminals.
Definitely.
And we had this old man in Texas the other day who illegals were coming on his property, busting in his thing, and he warned them with fire shots, and they kept coming, and he ended up shooting one. They got him in prison, the old man. He's in his
He's 78.
78. and his wife is just as old, and she's now, this is a ranch on the border, and she's home alone, on basically unprotected, and he's in prison. They wouldn't even let him make a phone call. He's going, they showed up, can I call my wife? Can I call my wife? And they burying him. And so now everybody's reaching out, GoFundMe thing to get him and help the wife and everything. This is an American citizen.
Yeah, we take care of everybody else. We don't support our own people.
Yep.
And this is, you got to change the laws, like you said. I mean, the Child Victims Act went away, and no one even cared.
No,
The sex
I think
predators
it-
they're catching across the border too. They got multiple sex offenders, and they're in. They've been tossed out. They come right back in.
I think it should be an automatic thing with civil court that if you pay to settle a sexual assault suit, that you go on the
Yeah, you have
registry.
to.
I just think it should be automatic. If you,
Especially
I don't care if
admitting
it's
it.
criminal
Especially
court, if it's civil court, I don't care where it is. If you're found guilty
Guilty.
or you're,
If-
You're guilty.
Look,
yeah,
So
Well,
if you're
it's
guilty,
me
you're
is-
guilty, and no piece of paper is going to say otherwise.
Right.
It
What
sticks to
still
you.
Was
gets
it-
me is that that guy admitted to what he did to you, and he's not on a sex offender.
no, he's
For the-
doing it
that's
more and more.
amazing.
He's allowed to
That's
admit it. I mean, he
absolutely-
admitted, hey, I did a crime. I raped a
Civil
child.
court. No, well, the civil court, there is no repercussions. You just go in there and pay your money and walk away.
it was so disgusting
much as you want.
that his lawyer gave his $1,000 retainer to me because he felt so bad.
Wow.
Yeah, 'cause it's disgusting, the whole damn thing.
When he read my police report and this guy said, well, yeah, I did it, but I don't have any money.
But you know what makes it even more disgusting to me is I knew this person.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That
Me
makes
too.
me
I did
even
too.
just
Yeah.
more disgusted. I never liked him in high school or his then wife. I didn't like either one of them because they were real uppity, thought that, I'm a cheerleader and I'm on the football team type people,
Mhm.
that attitude. But that makes me even sicker to know I knew him.
Yeah. And that just goes to show you that it's everyone everywhere. Like the people that you wouldn't, not that they're fantastic people, but that you wouldn't think are
They hide
raping
behind it.
children.
They get a position. A lot of it's on purpose, whether it's a teacher or a lawyer or a priest. Sure,
Mhm.
use their
But knowing they got married, had kids of their own actually, and were doing that to another child.
With their
Mhm.
kids sitting right there watching.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with their
God.
kids right
There.
in the same room.
When I found out, it made me sick.
Mm-hmm.
Made me sick.
Yeah.
For a reason, but
Yeah, you were new. I tell you though, because that's how it goes. I mean, civil court.
You knew both of them.
Yeah, I know that's insane, but I knew both the victims. I knew both of the predators.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Well, I guess 2 out of 3 because now I've
But I
realized
guess
that there was a third.
I know.
just being a teacher, and not even if I wasn't a teacher at the school,
No.
at LaSalle High School or whatever, I knew. I mean, back then though, they were just accusations. People would talk. Sure. Nobody knew for sure, but hey, did you hear about this or did you hear about that? But now it's actually come true.
And when
And I'm not shocked.
and what is wrong is there was kids that came forward. You know this,
Yes.
and they were told, and the school board covered it and just said, "All right, you retire with all your
Switch
benefits."
schools.
Yeah, and all that stuff. They
Yeah.
did what the Catholic Church did.
Mhm.
That's what who was it? Carmen Granto. He
Yep.
did that.
Yep.
He did that, and he should be responsible
He,
for what he did.
the predator, and I'll
And everyone that's on that board,
Bob Lewis, the one who
Right.
abused me, he was moved from school to school. And when that didn't work, and the victim showed up at the school board meeting and said at the school board meeting what was happening, they just offered him early retirement.
and they didn't do anything. Think about that. They didn't think they had to go call the police. They didn't feel about any of it.
What you're told to do. You know what I mean? Like what you're always
Yeah.
told that you're supposed to do, no, but they don't.
And
do it.
they at the school board,
Is
the board that should be governing
Right.
what happens in our schools, and somebody
Why
goes
would they
to
do
them.
that? I'm thinking, why? What is it again that I don't know? See, it doesn't.
No, it don't.
doesn't. I got.
No, it doesn't make
It's
sense.
got to
because
be
it-
just they're covering their own ass.
Because if
they
it
all
trickles
knew.
down-
Yeah.
Right.
It trickles down. So if this person did something, it's going to look bad for that one, and then that one, and that one too.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody
Remember
just
It's
being
just
down the
easier
golf
to-
course,
Yeah.
and we were arguing about this stuff, and a really good friend of mine, and they mentioned somebody at LaSalle, and they took away his basketball career and all that, and I said, fine, is that what you're gonna do? That's fine, go ahead, do it. I go, now, don't stop there though. Don't stop there. There's a whole lot of others out there, and you know who I'm talking about. And that was out right here on the golf course. and they want silent.
Well, it's what I mean. They don't.
Yeah.
It's just it's Catholic Church like. It's
Right.
the same exact thing that they did
Yep.
when they just moved priests from, okay, you do that in Buffalo, let's go to Chicago.
Mhm.
You do that there, okay, we'll go down to Miami.
Right. I think he went.
Way to the Pope.
I think he went from LaSalle Middle to LaSalle Senior to Niagara Falls High School.
And raping all the way
Yeah.
along every 4 years,
Every
every
4
3
years,
years,
yeah.
just rotating victims.
Yeah, when he was abusing me,
Now-
he was visiting his last victim at Brockport.
Now, how can you not tell me that the school board isn't, that they should be sued? They should be individually. That's what I'd love to see, is some of them people individually, like
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah.
They should be, because they've taken a lot of money from the state of New York and a lot of money, their outrageous pay some of these people made for being superintendents of
They're
Niagara Falls.
supposed to be protected children. Plain and simple.
Mm-hmm.
People send their kids to school thinking that they're going to be protected and safe there, and that's what they do. They protect them.
Right, they protect the pedophiles.
I
They
wanna
have
know-
people like D'Angelo working in the school.
I
What's
wanna
her name,
know what they
Kathy?
need.
I people like Kathy D'Angelo working.
I'd love to know what they do now. Because believe it or not, that it didn't just happen in the 90s.
Well, that's who we have working for the schools now. It's Andy Tuma, Nick D'Angelo's uncle. So
I'd like to know what they do now. It's definitely happening.
Oh,
Don't say
yeah.
it's not happening. And it's the same. It's no different than it was. So what, we have the internet. They're the same. No one's changing. And why didn't we hear anything? You mean are we at zero? It doesn't happen no more, right? All of a sudden. Do you get what I'm
Right.
saying? Like we hear nothing.
when are people going to start taking these crimes serious?
Yeah. And you got to make victims feel good enough to talk.
Yep,
That's how we would know.
That's the only
But-
reason I spoke out, was because I felt like I had enough support.
Yep.
If I didn't feel like I had support, I would never. So more people feel like they have support and they're okay to come out and not be judged and stuff, then you're going to hear a ton more people talking.
Yep.
We got to stop questioning them and saying, why did it take you so long to come forward? Why this, why that? Like, just make them feel safe enough to speak out so others can be safe.
Yeah, no, I it's right, because they have to. That's why we don't know anything.
Right.
Because look at all those. Think about what all those years, decades of that one, just every 3 years.
Yeah.
It really was okay. Seniors done. Let me grab a freshman. Let me just keep rotating.
Yep.
We're talking probably 20, 30, who knows how many
Probably.
that have been affected, and that school board allowed it to just keep happening.
I wonder how many haven't had a chance to come forward
Right.
already.
Right.
So with these teachers right now,
Mhm.
like how many
Oh, they're
still
so
have yet
happy.
to.
I know
Yeah.
he has like 3 suits against him.
Yeah.
Just, and I know for a fact that there's more.
That just didn't come forward.
Yeah.
And the thing is, that's why the Child Victims Act was so damn good, because a lot of people, it changed their lives,
Right.
because they were able to bring it, and there was people there that did want to be supportive.
Right. And
So-
and the thing is too, like,
Why kill it?
yeah, because there were some people that just weren't ready. It just
Yeah.
wasn't their time to come forward. So
And
now
that's
you're
okay.
telling those
too
people
late.
that
Yeah.
it doesn't
They
matter.
always run off the clock.
Why do you make that possible and then just take it away? Like,
Right.
time. Like, why put a time limit on it? That's so disgusting.
The things I heard from behind the scenes with all that, with the amount of lobbyists going there, begging the state Senate and the Assembly to stop it.
Because they probably know how many more
Yeah.
people are going to get in
It
trouble.
was
Mhm.
exactly what it was. The
They know.
Catholic Church itself, school boards, everything else, coming in there and begging them to stop this. You cannot continue it. You
Yep.
can't continue, and they didn't. That was where there was no appetite for it. When they
Right.
say appetite, they don't mean by the people, they mean by them.
Yeah,
Right.
even to the pedophiles and stuff. The
Yes.
people that people-
It's just more easier. Think about Steve Pigeon. Where did this
Where
go?
did that go?
What happened here with that?
We send people to the assembly that call Nick D'Angelo a good boy.
True, that's
Yeah.
a problem.
So
Yeah.
What do we get? What do we expect?
then
Yeah.
that's what we
We
get.
have to break this off the hook.
Right. If that's what we're voting for, that's what we're getting.
Because all he did was kiss her on the cheek, don't you know?
Right. Oh yeah.
The neighbor of Tessa's neighbor said the same thing. Oh no, he's a good boy.
You know who
Oh.
probably said that? Nick D'Angelo's stupid mom. She probably is the one who's going around telling people that.
Yeah.
And she's a school counselor, and that's who you have working around your kids. People like her aren't safe at all either.
I mean, let's think about this. Your job in a school, in an elementary school, is
Elementary.
to counsel children. And
You can't
your-
even counsel your own. You can't even
Yeah.
take care of your own.
And your son was already convicted, basically,
Mhm.
of a rape. even though he pled down and he was 17, so he got youthful offender, but still.
Because they knew the judge.
Right. So he did that, and now he's up on charges again. The people who have hired her and know her still have her in that position to counsel somebody's elementary child.
Yeah. When she's telling her own kid that she has his bag and that it's gonna be okay. Like, I support you.
Like, that is scary.
And she stalks, and what she does is she stalks the victims' pages daily.
Yeah. And we have that out of the mouth of somebody who I'm sure will come forward if they had to say, because she was so disgusted with what was going on. You know?
Right. I mean, she wasn't acting that great at the courthouse either, so.
She
was there.
I want to play this video that we got.
Yeah.
This is something I wish would come to Niagara County, and maybe we'll make it happen someday.
Some stars, and then maybe this.
Yes, more stars. And we're going to do this in segments. It's only like a couple minutes, but I split it up to make it easier so we could talk about some of it first. Some have no control. Can't blame the parent all the time, says Burdette. Can't blame the parent. No,
that's true.
The only thing I blame them for is their reaction.
Yeah.
How do they then, when they see shit happening, how do they react?
The only thing is, I blame Nick D'Angelo's mother because of how she's purposely doing things.
Say my son has a problem.
Instead of saying my son has a problem, so don't stalk my page. Don't try to get me in trouble. Try to go after me and the victims. No, you go after. How about for once you go after your son and show some tough love?
Real quick from Dominic, and then I want to run these two videos. Ranto was a waste, and then he leaves and his sister takes over. Have to keep the reins. The school boards are worse than City Hall and state government at some points. It's the perfect friends and family plan. These are the same people that I remember when I was a student at JG Mann decide to raise all the test rates a month before testing. Point being, stupid is as stupid does, turning a blind eye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I want this to come to Niagara County, and we might make it happen. This is going to be about a minute and a half, and check this out.
This guy's coming in. That could be the doctor. Go to Mark 3. Have him come towards you.
Hey, you made it. Come on back.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
This man is 48 years old, married, and a prominent San Francisco physician. It's hard to believe that someone of his stature would show up to meet a girl who said she was 13 and then follow her into the backyard where she invites him to go in her hot tub.
Pour me a drink. I'm actually going to put on my suit so maybe we can get in the hot tub because it's all warm.
He met the girl online 3 days earlier. The girl was really a perverted justice decoy pretending to be 13. Using the screen name Tall Dreamy Doc, he lies and says he's 29. Remember, he's really 48. He asks the girl, what bra size do you wear? She says 30B, but it's kind of big on me right now. I'm still growing. He replies, I will kiss them.
Wow.
He goes into graphic detail about giving and receiving oral sex, and later says, I'm horny for you, and asks her to masturbate while thinking of him. He tells her several times he could get into trouble, but it isn't enough to stop him from coming over and helping himself to a drink.
I can't. Oh, jeez.
Jeez. So where are you coming from?
San Francisco.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, so there probably was a lot of traffic, huh?
Do you have a towel?
As the doctor looks for a towel, he spots Dateline's camera crew.
I gotta take off. Sir? Yeah. I need to talk to you for a minute.
He runs, but he doesn't get very far.
Get on the ground!
Dang.
I wasn't gonna go around. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get his keys. I wasn't doing anything. Oh man, I wasn't doing anything. Get his keys. I wasn't doing anything.
And like all the other men caught in this investigation, from used car salesmen to engineers to Marines, he goes through the same procedure. First stop, the booking station.
So now, as you can see there, right? I mean, it doesn't matter if you can make millions or you can be somebody who's on the street. I mean, it doesn't matter.
He was a cancer research doctor or something like that.
Money.
And I bet you there's
how many
out there
people?
who said,
I'm sure.
"Oh, he could never. Oh, he's helping.
What a beautiful man.
What a beautiful man helping patients with cancer. How
And you
could?"
know what though? There's probably people out there who he was this savior type image. That's what they use.
I bet you there's
It's
still
the
people
image.
even after seeing that.
Oh, they don't
He
care.
didn't do nothing.
It's the syndrome that some of these people have.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what
Yep, and these people, it's not that they. I mean, these, even though they're monsters, it's not like they don't ever do good for anyone. They do good for people in their lives to make it appear that they're good people, so that the bad things they're doing don't come to light.
Even like a little bakery.
Kind of like the little bakery, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's play the little interrogation.
Yeah.
Because this is something where he cries and says, I've never done anything in my entire life.
Nothing's sinking in.
You're gonna talk to a detective and
Yeah, I explained that to him already. He's failing to.
I'm not failing. I'm just really scared. Nothing to be scared about. Nothing to be scared about? No. I'm somebody who has never done anything in my life. You died a traffic ticket and you wouldn't be scared? You're in some trouble, obviously. Yeah, I feel like I'm in big trouble, and I feel like I made maybe a mistake, but I didn't do anything.
He's Dr. Maurice Wolin, head of clinical research and medical affairs for a pharmaceutical company, and he's not happy about seeing our cameras.
I'm here in handcuffs. I have pictures being taken of me left and right. I don't know what I'm being accused of.
He's then taken in for questioning by Detective Steve Nelson of the Petaluma Police Department.
First thing I'm going to do is explain to you your Miranda rights, okay? Okay. You have the right to remain silent.
At first, the doctor agrees to talk.
So, I'd like to talk about what happened today, okay?
But he quickly changes his mind.
What screen name do you use? I really need to have an attorney present. Okay.
But despite asking for an attorney, he chooses to keep talking.
You asked to talk to an attorney. Yes. Okay. I'm not going to discuss this further because I can't, unless you want to waive your right to have an attorney present.
The detective asks him 4 more times if he's waiving his right to an attorney.
I will answer what I can.
And each time he agrees and continues to talk.
I'm not going to play games
I'm
here.
not playing games. I'm scared out of my mind.
Right. And I understand that.
You saw my record. I've never done anything wrong in my life.
Okay.
And now I'm being charged with very serious offenses.
Why did you come to the house in Petaluma today?
I was curious.
Okay. Curious about what?
I chatted with someone online. She had asked to meet me on several occasions. I declined. And today again she asked. I had a little bit of time, not very much.
Okay.
And so I thought I would come out and meet her, nothing more.
Okay.
The doctor is referring to how online he made a date for sex with a decoy, but chickened out. Then the decoy, deliberately behaving like a precocious teenager, encouraged him to come.
I know she was young, and I knew that.
Under 18?
Sure.
Okay. Did you talk to her about touching and kissing and making each other feel good?
I remember she saying that she had trouble finding something to make her feel good.
Okay.
I was playing with her.
In fact, what he said online was, I work hard to make the girl feel good. I wouldn't stop until you blank over and over.
Oh,
And
dang.
then you told her, no, I'm real, but you're under 18 and I'm over. We would have to be so careful.
I don't remember saying that, but I told her that she needed to be, I was concerned about her. She needed to be careful.
Okay.
The only reason I came today, I was curious, but I wasn't going to do anything. If you read that, you can tell that over and over again I said that both I shouldn't come, she should be careful.
You're talking about that you want her to take her pants off. So you can take mine off if you want. So how do you want to do it?
I wasn't going to do anything. That was not appropriate. Officer Nelson, I shouldn't have talked to her.
Right.
I wasn't going to do anything.
So you drove 40 minutes from Piedmont to meet a 13-year-old that nothing would have happened. Can you expect me to believe that?
There you go.
I love their excuses.
Is that show still on?
No,
They
no.
had that on for a while.
They do have people that do that though. Like they have
Online.
people online and they'll have a show just
Same
like
thing.
that. And they do the same exact stuff in all different counties and states. They have people who do this and they need to start one up here.
Niagara
They
County,
don't already. Yeah.
oh my God, begging for this to
Yeah.
happen here.
You know what I
Niagara
love
County.
is how the pedophile blames the
Child.
Yeah,
the
they
child
love it.
Until they
But
read their.
she kept asking me over and over. She wasn't that case.
Yeah.
Well then.
Well, I love how they always say, "Oh, I was just there to hang out, just wanted to talk." It said nothing more, nothing more.
Yeah, I was just curious.
I
Yeah,
also
just-
love when they never done anything.
Yeah.
They haven't been caught. That's all. You know how many times you've been online doing this,
Oh yeah.
you piece of
Yeah, by the
garbage.
time you have the gall to go to someone, you've been
You
doing this online
You
for
can
a
go to
long
jail
time.
for just having that conversation on.
Right, that's what I
Like,
mean.
that's what
You've
they
been
don't get.
doing
They
that.
think it's okay that
Mhm.
you can have these kind of
And the best part is
Sexually
they know
charged
that they're not
thoughts.
allowed to be doing it. They're doing it anyway.
Mhm.
yeah. And we need this in Niagara County badly.
Mhm.
Can you
I
imagine?
think D'Angelo would be one of the first ones we caught
Yeah.
with all his accounts and
Could
stuff.
you imagine setting that up and the people that would walk in?
Oh my god.
I can think of somebody else that looks like a clown.
Sure. There's
Oh,
so many.
yeah.
There's quite a number. Yeah.
You know who I'm thinking of?
Yes, I do. And I just know that though it would be insane. I think it would be unbelievable. It would be like they did there. They had the one guy was going in, the other one was coming out. They were rotating them. They kept coming in that fast.
Yeah, and Eric County needs it.
Yeah.
Why doesn't Philisetti do this?
Should be.
Probably.
Or maybe he knows he'll catch some of his own people.
That's what there
Probably
you
what
have
it
it.
is. They're
Maybe we
terrified.
can call Jason Caffarella and have him design a program.
Yeah, he's the only one who can.
Yeah, he's probably the only one.
Yeah.
Capable. But anyways, we are going to do something someday. We're going to figure out who can do it. We can do it. They can do. Someone's doing it
Yeah.
because they need it here.
It needs
Yeah.
to happen.
The entire county needs to be shaken out because I can
Yeah.
only imagine what's going on in those little cities too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's dangerous. Grand Island didn't have any updates really, any more videos. So, oof,
in the middle of nowhere places.
those people, what are they going to say?
Right.
They will kill you
Yeah.
and no one will know. I mean,
Yeah,
basically,
yeah.
even to this day.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's the time. Well, go ahead,
There's a lot
Jared.
of fear associated with it, with people too. I think there are some people out there that probably want to come out and say that they're probably in fear for their life in some of those small towns.
Mhm.
Because they'll have to move, they'll have to do everything. So there's this block. We always say, why is this block here?
Yeah.
And that's what people do. They freeze.
It's because nobody believes them.
Yeah.
It's because you come out and you tell your truth, and people tell you you're a liar and you're a whore and
Right.
you're all these
Money
things.
grabber.
right.
And so the
Why
next
do-
person thinks, well,
Why
that
you put up with
person
it?
got ridiculed and got nothing, so why would I come forward and do the same thing?
Exactly.
Gary says, unbelievable, not surprised. Things seem to get worse. It has to be a bad mental illness. These people just can't be helped ever. I recently
No.
had to fire one of my disabled daughter's doctors because he kept hitting on me, made me sick, did nothing for my daughter. Sickening.
Wow.
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 Jesus.
How about that? There's too much going on, man.
Yeah.
And for those people, I can't wait for the next election for assembly and
Mhm.
Senate. I can't wait.
Yep. maybe.
These because they're gonna have 2 new people for assembly. Senate, forget him. No, what's his name? You can't even talk to Ort. So, but
Or she useless.
Yeah.
he
He's
really
useless.
is. Oh God, does
Wow.
it? Wow. Wow, we can't don't mention the name,
No.
but yeah.
That one, I
Does.
know that.
Yeah, look at that.
Well,
Oh,
What
wow.
is that? Yeah, I see the
What does that
name.
look
Yeah.
like?
Yeah, you know who that is.
Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah. I know what it looks like. Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yes,
Wow.
yes. I'm
Wow.
shocked. I am shocked.
Yeah. Holy. See what I mean?
Wow.
This is,
Is that new?
that's
I don't-
crazy.
I don't know, but I mean, I know that
Yeah.
Wow.
Everybody should go check out the sex offender registry.
Oh, you'll
Really
be
should go
stunned.
take a nice
It's
look.
something
There you
should
go,
look at.
yeah.
I'm shocked. I'm
Yeah.
looking through these. I'm like, oh,
There's a
wow.
lot of people on there that I'm sure people don't know.
And people won't expect because those are the people that are doing this.
Yes.
Oh,
It's
he's
not some
Yeah, for that much. Well,
it's not some
was a doctor.
boogeyman that
there was a doctor here
Doctor,
in
yeah,
Lewiston. Yeah, yeah.
Was that he was a doctor or dentist? A doctor. Okay.
And if I'm not mistaken,
Well, it's public
mistaken,
information. It's on
I
the
know,
registry.
but I'm not saying it. It was an emergency room doctor.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
I know that because I'm a nurse.
Right.
right.
Mm.
So
Can you
there's
imagine?
a doctor on the sex offender registry.
Can you imagine how many
Yeah.
people they've
I
taken
wonder-
advantage of?
And I wonder if he's still a doctor.
I
He
don't know,
can't
I'm
be a
sorry.
doctor anymore. They
No.
probably stop it. Unlike lawyers, they don't care about lawyers.
I'm sure once you get something like this,
They probably step in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe someone has it because the bars they don't care. They
unless
just
you're
let
a
everything
lawyer,
go.
because
You run wild.
I know. he
Wow.
was an emergency room doctor.
Yeah. Now that
Wow.
he's
So a lot of these people, I mean, are people of prominence.
Mhm.
yeah, it seems to be more than the ones that are just because you don't just you'll hear it, but it's very far and few between people just getting grabbed off the street.
Yeah.
by
Right,
Some
that's
guy
right.
who lives in a
That's the thing. It's
vagrant.
not the boogeyman,
Yes.
that you don't know that comes up to you with a mask. It's your doctor. It's your teacher. It's your neighbor. It's your priest.
emergency
it's
room
your-
doctor.
An uncle.
Emergency room.
Yeah. Be anybody.
Yeah, no,
I
this
mean,
is
he had some practice. I know he did. But
right.
he was in the emergency room a lot, like as a doctor.
Wow.
He did that as like a extra thing. I don't.
Right.
He was
Well,
a pediatrician.
I think he was a general doctor.
General doctor.
Yeah,
my God.
yeah.
So I don't know.
He looks familiar. I feel like I saw him in
I'm sure he did.
the
Yeah,
emergency
He looks
room
like somebody
before.
we know.
Actually, I have to say, when
I know what
went,
you were gonna say.
Yeah.
I know exactly.
I went for a job, and
Looks
I,
just like
you know
this.
how like when you have to
Holy
be
cow.
Yeah.
And I got
Right away.
sent to him to be cleared for this job. So that's why I was like,
Wow.
what?
Yeah.
Wow.
Imagine the things we're finding out. Looking.
There's some people, when I was looking on the sex offender registry, holy crap, there's people that I had no idea about that were on there. And I was like,
And then that registry, think about all the people that just go to civil court and don't have to go on that registry.
Right.
There's probably so many. If there's 300 and some odd on that, it should be about probably 3,000.
they better make Nick D'Angelo go on a registry. That's
Oh,
one thing.
yeah.
They better
They
go
have
on
to.
a registry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially being a repeat offender, he needs to
Mhm.
be on the registry.
Yeah. But it's going to be, I can only imagine when this trial starts what's going to go down.
Yeah, so everybody's trial, Nick D'Angelo's trial is in May.
May. Hey, finally.
They
Wow.
better
It's
not let
coming
him
fast.
change that.
Yeah, they better not.
Yeah,
let him
not
change it.
again.
That's
No
gonna be
more.
disgusting.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have been allowed to change it as many times as he already has.
Well, he got to change it because of the clock. Judge Clock.
Now, on his side, he's gonna start more motions, and it's gonna be.
They got to stop it. Yeah, they got
They gotta stop it, but
They
who's
got to
say-
stop it.
Who's to say they will?
Well, but there's a new judge from Erie County now
Hopefully.
who
Yeah.
has stepped in since Clock
I
retired.
understand.
So hopefully she won't
Yeah.
allow this.
That was the woman in the court today. We saw her, right?
The
You saw
mom
her.
wasn't there. It was just me and Uncle John.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
Lazy Lakes with the kids.
Was it?
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
good thinking. Wow.
Yeah, well,
Look
thank
at
you,
that.
Mama.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed yourself.
See, I cared where you were, gal.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
just
Stop, stop.
Yeah, listen to that.
Thank you, Rob.
All right.
Sorry, Jim.
I guess we. Let's see. If they don't put him in the registry, I will inform everyone of his address. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I'll help out the
If
contact bandit.
you really
The
got,
poster bandit, yeah, I'm
Poster
hoping
bandit.
has already alerted the neighbors.
Yeah.
I gotta hope we're gonna see 20 years in prison at least.
Yeah.
That's the hope.
But supposedly there's more victims now.
Right.
Supposedly, from what I've been told, there's more victims.
And
By good source.
Very good sources.
And more in the making because we just
Yeah,
let him
definitely.
run free like he's just your average
Yeah.
person that isn't doing this, and meanwhile he's taking advantage of vulnerable people and intimidating witnesses. And
Oh yeah. That's another thing, Melissa. Thank you for reminding me. Niagara Action Page is owned by hi Maggie. Is owned by Nicholas D'Angelo, this predator. Okay, he runs the whole entire page. He owns it. And did I say that right? Yes. Okay. He owns and runs the page. Not only that, but he also owns the Action 716, the Crime Niagara Falls, and I think he still has something to do with the
yeah,
Niagara
stay away from
Reporter.
the Niagara Reporter.
So the Niagara
too.
Reporter too know better what he deals with them too. But Niagara Action that buys their followers and likes and stuff. Don't. It's ran by a predator, a serial rapist. Stop following that page.
And
It is
share.
not give out its own information. It has to take information from other pages, and they're banned from having police reports. So
Yeah.
what news place is banned from having police reports? Okay, that's how much of a criminal and pig he is.
at that point, what's he going to tell you that somebody else can't tell you?
Right. That's why he posts about sports so much, because he can't even get a hold of the real news.
What's he
Right.
know about sports?
Yeah.
Dominic says, I hate to be disgusting, but how bad is it that you have to force yourself on someone like that? It's just sick, and anyone that doesn't do anything to fight this shit is as guilty as those creeps are.
And the silent people too.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean,
These things.
yeah, it's just
It's got
enough's enough. For God's sake.
Yeah, enough.
Jesus.
That's
All you got to do is chirp out a little bit. We're not asking you.
Well, like literally hit a
Wait
share
out the
button.
road.
If everybody could share this, that would be helpful. Just hit a share button. Make sure you go on my page.
Yeah.
I reshared it, my petition. If you could sign it. If you haven't signed it already, please sign it. It's not like it shows everybody your name, the once you sign it, but it's to hopefully get his law license suspended in the meantime.
yeah, so we can stop hurting people as
Yeah.
we continue to hear the developments and the reports
Nobody can
daily.
Nobody can believe that he's still an attorney. People are like, just like, why?
The New York State
How is it?
Bar Association
This
should
sucks.
be.
They should be. I think
They
it's-
should be investigated.
I
Yeah,
think,
they
I think,
really
I think I'm
should.
gonna go after the grievance committee and the New York State Bar
I still
Association.
don't know
people
how
get
he
hurt.
became a lawyer after 2009. How does he go from
Yeah.
2009
Because
to
it
be a
was
lawyer?
Yeah.
he was 17
Youthful
years old,
offender.
and he was a youthful offender.
It's like
was
it didn't
okay.
happen.
He did in
So
the
he's a
paper.
youthful offender with a sex thing, but he still became a lawyer.
It doesn't matter because nobody knows it's real.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no one could know. You weren't allowed to know
Or
So-
Grace Sumlin
unless you
did
read
that.
the paper. You're right. Well, they're
Yeah,
still
that was
they run around.
Youthful offender
If you're 17 or younger,
Oh, Scott, have we
usually
seen him
it
tomorrow?
gets,
Oh yeah, that's right. He's
Yes, make sure you report to us
Say
what
hi.
happens.
Yeah.
Ask him how his court date went that he didn't show up to.
We should
Good luck tomorrow, Scott.
Yes,
Yes.
Scott, good luck.
Good luck, Scott.
Make sure you message us.
Yeah, let us know what's going on. Someday I hope you'll join us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Scott, come on the show.
Scott would
We'll
love
sit
it.
up in a little corner there and we'll talk.
Scott, if you're free tomorrow night after and you want to give us an update, you can come
Oh,
on the
yeah.
show
Yeah.
and give
Yeah,
an update.
inbox Robin if you feel
Yeah.
like anything like that. Real quick, I'm gonna bring up the YWCA. YWCA 716-433-6714. We've been talking about this now the last half of the show. If you're someone who's been hurt in that way here in Niagara County, you've been abused, you've been assaulted, you've been raped. It happened 40, 50 years ago, or it happened 5 days ago. Please give them a call, 716-433-6714. We know how great the counselors are. They're standing by. They'll counsel you at any time of the day, and it's free, and they are great. They're incredible. And then the advocates that will really, they brought Robin to the police station. They'll bring you to the, if you got to go to lawyers or court, hospital, they'll come with you. They're incredible people.
And it's great, just real quick,
No, go
with
ahead.
the police station, like, for instance, they know the process where the victim isn't going to know that, so they set it all up for me to where I just met the advocate outside in front of the police station, and she walked me through the whole thing.
Very safe place for
I've heard
victims,
really good things
for
about
survivors.
Yeah, really good.
And you that are the loved ones of the survivor that don't understand, please call them. They will tell you what you need to know about the mindset of someone who's been hurt like that. It's not that hard to really, you should be able to do it yourself, but if you can't, get in there. They'll help you. Why don't we talk about, and this is something that me and you were kind of thinking of today, all of us, when we were talking about human trafficking.
Yeah.
Wow. 888-373-7888.
If you think you know somebody who's being trafficked, or you heard of somebody being trafficked, or you think you saw something, call this number. They will look into it, because trafficking is happening all over this area. It's happening right in Grand Island, everywhere. So call this number if you've heard of anything, or
maybe happening right
it
downtown
might be happening right
at a big hotel near us.
somewhere where you might gamble.
Our government's assisting it on an assembly line known as the southern border. It is pouring across.
They love it. It don't make any sense. They love it. Obviously, they don't care. Pigs. All right. You can find all of our shows dating back to the very beginning at Friends Media Network on YouTube. Anyone that, here's the stars thing again.
Yes, stars helpful.
Yes. fb.com/stars is where you can go to leave us stars, and stars being something that, first of all, give us good status, the more stars we get, and also it's a couple dollars that will help us on the way to bigger and better things, and trying to maybe do some of these things like you see. I'd love to do one of those predator type things, set up some kind of a sting operation. We could do it. Why not? We could find some people that would help us too. I'd let the police know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Of course you would. But we're gonna do it. It's gonna happen. I'll do it. I saw those people in Indianapolis do
Well,
it.
they would say I have a headache, and that's their cue to call the police.
Yeah. It's gonna be done. What else am I forgetting? Oh, tomorrow's Robin's show. Are we doing it?
Yeah.
Okay, we're doing Robin's show tomorrow. Robin live. What do we do? We have no idea what we're talking about.
We never do.
I've been like that for years.
Possibly. So Robin live tomorrow. Could be anything from local. It can be local stuff. It can be net. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do. You guys ever want to jump on? Our Monday crew. Feel free if you got time.
Gail, you still have to come on. I almost got you when you were sick, and then
on Wednesday I'm making
whenever
an
you're
appearance
ready
on the Sports Scope podcast Wednesday at 8:30. The guy from Nashville will be interviewing. We'll be talking about the NBA trade deadline, about the Super Bowl, and about the Chicago Bears draft. So that'll be fun. He was on our show last week. So
it'll be fun to see you on the other side of the interview.
Yeah.
I never get to see you on that side.
Yeah. It's not much different.
Yeah.
You're going to see the same thing. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen is I guess I won't have to touch the screen to get in there.
Yeah.
So let him do it.
I have this feeling he's a Maple
Yeah. That guy, they don't talk about hockey on that podcast. It's down in Nashville. No, they're not.
Not Nashville.
They got a team. He did
Predators.
recognize that.
Yeah.
What else goes on? Oh, Saturday. We had a great guest last week on Falls Count Anywhere. Ricky Santana was really good.
Yeah.
Incredible stories. I don't know who the guest is this week. I can't remember. But I know we got one.
Yeah.
For Falls Count Anywhere. And then we'll be back on Monday with probably every week. Isn't it funny? I don't know how you look at it, but I get to like Sunday and I don't know what we're going to do.
I know, I get
And then all of a sudden,
and I
boom.
forget that it's
You do golf?
We're talking about golf?
Sports.
Yeah, I would. We had.
And the classics coming
We
up.
talked about, you know what we did? We talked about that new golf in Saudi
that's big
Arabia.
time.
We had a good talk about that because I love it. I go to Saudi, do what you want to do because it cracks me up because the NBA goes to China. No one cares about that. This guy goes, you know what I'm saying? You're mad at Saudis? Why? You go to China, you got, but anyways, we did talk about them.
10% of the Saudis.
We have a golf pro on standby. If needed, John Riker said he would help me if we ever had any golf questions. And stuff.
John Riker, good man.
Yeah. And a
Johnny Capus, I know well.
great golfer. And that's about it, right, guys? We're done. And just keep an eye on Noelle's page and on Citizens United page because we will pretty much just share everything you do.
Don't
So
forget
it
to
works.
sign that petition that Noel has.
Yep, sign the petition.
Share this.
Don't forget the
Share
stars.
this. Send us stars, please. Share everything. And we appreciate anybody that gave us stars,
Yes.
or anybody that's thinking of giving us stars. And that's about it. All right, everybody. We will
See you tomorrow.
see you tomorrow with
Bye, guys.
Robin.
Bye.
Take care.